Yeah, what's going on? It's like when it comes to television, media, uh movies, video games, you can almost like line them up in certain categories cuz they're all leading towards the same one world thing. Like if for instance in the newer Halo series, it's called the United Nations Space Command. So that's predictive programming about how that game's promoting that the United Nations will be the one with the space program. And this is in the future, so that one is simple. That's a one world programming type of film. Just like Independence Day, one world. Everyone's got to unite to defeat the aliens. And we know that's the last card of or one of the last cards of the Illuminati game is the alien false flag, man. And then you see that in that movie War of the Worlds, which uh, I'm not even sure, but I think War of the Worlds was originally kind of like it was a radio program that was put off as it was real, but it wasn't, and it created a mass hysteria. Things like this, like if you watch the ID channel or like especially Lifetime, Women's Network, every single movie is about some kind of treacherous wife or husband who's got 10 wives and he's a serial killer. And uh I mean, I was watching that the other day. I mean, I wasn't watching, I just happened to see it. And I watched this kid, they put him to bed, right? And looked at his shoe, and I thought, man, dude, that thing looks like it's never even seen, outside. And I just remembered that this is just an act. These are a bunch of actors. Like, just like the moon landing, supposedly was a hoax, and I believe it was, because when I went to the Kennedy Space Station down in Florida, like the memorial space place that the people can go and kind of just view it, it had. I think that is. It's like they had the set memorialized that they used to make the hoax of the moon landing. Because you got to think of how easy it would have been to hoax someone way back in the day. Uh, it's just like I think that it's like they do certain rituals. Like, listen, people were in a mass state of awe, so they could at that time while everyone was all dazzled by the awe, and they were at the same time they were under this mass fear from the Cold War. It's crazy. You got to think how they can implant things in people's brains. You know what I'm saying? It's like I think that's what NLP is in hypnosis. You wait till you hit an emotional trigger, then you take command of them for a second. Not sure how it works, but I know it works because man, people have done it to me, made me forget what the fuck I was talking about. You know what I'm saying? Things like that. But you can line up things to an agenda. ID. It's to break up the family. And they love to find some false prophet, Joel Osteen type, or that guy who got caught raping the kids, which they all do that in the mainstream organized religion. They be raping kids. That's what it's all about. Fertility rituals. You can look into that. The Babylonian Isis, Nimrod, Tammuz rituals. That's all. That's the only keywords you need right there. You look into that. Look into that, and you'll come back and say, yeah, he's not lying. And it's crazy, man. But they be telegraphing so many things. You hear these talking points like gun control. You'll see all these movies about these people who are like schizophrenic and they just get a gun and uh, start taking people out. And and then the cop, the hero, comes to save the day. And even then, you got your like the now they like in England they ban knives. Well, look at the movie Michael Myers. It's because people think that this stuff happens more than it does, though it does happen, like in real gang fights, biker fights, uh, other things. Man, people do get stabbed, but they get shot, they get hit with cars. And I mean, here's the thing. I was thinking about this the other day. I was like, man, car bombings, dude. The bikers been doing that. The Irish mobsters was doing that. Even the the Chicago mob was doing that. So that's been a technique that's been around for a long time. You know what I'm saying? And as far as it comes to any kind of mass bombing, the only thing you got really is 9/11, which is a false flag and an inside job. And you got the Oklahoma bombing, which is another inside job false flag. The FBI set it up, and McVeigh was a patsy. Or he was just a character. He was an actor in the whole psyop. You know what I'm saying? Or it's like when Kennedy got assassination, that was mass fear and pandemonium. Was out. That's a time you can, when people are fearful, they're easily led. That's what it says in some of the ancient strategy books. You know what I'm saying? So you can see why they do this. Then if you promote peace everywhere, everyone goes along, life as usual. But really, when you have war in your hearts, when a person's walking around all in peace and in love and in caring, I mean, that is a perfect mark for a pure evil person. You know what I'm saying? So the people who promote peace are probably the people who want everyone to let their guard down. It's kind of like when you put up your dukes like this and you say, come on. And the person puts up their dukes and you say, oh, never mind, I don't want to fight. Then you put down your dukes. Then you hit them in the face when they put theirs down. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like that situation. Or, here, imagine this. Imagine there's a space, and the space is like, no weapons allowed. You must check your weapons in the door. But once you're in here, you're safe. It'd be like you walking in there, checking in your weapons. But once you get inside, there's a group of assassins with all armed with the best, sharpest swords. And then you step in there and they hack you to death because you thought it was a sanctuary when it was not. Or it was a diplomatic. Like they used to do this to the Indians. They'd invite them to a little sit down. And then once they got in the tent, they would shut the tent, and all these guys would, because if they were openly brandishing their guns, they wouldn't know that these guys were assassins. And as soon as they got everyone in the tent, they would lock up the tent. And this one guy actually had to whip out a knife. He had a hidden knife himself. Lucky for him. And he cut a hole in the tent and ran away. I think what the heck is this dude's name, man? Man, I can't remember what his name is, man. But it's a real dude. It's in the, I think it's in, Geronimo in his own story book. Oh shit, look at this. We got the Terminators on us now. Here, watch this. Zoom not supported for this mode. Damn. Look at this. Terminators. Lights in the sky, man. Alright, anyway, man, that's, in this 1984, you can line these things up and, fear programming, like telegraphing what they're going to do to you in the future. Minority Report, for example. It's like they want everyone fucking microchipped. For health reasons. Vaccines, you can see terrorism, and now it's being flipped over to homegrown lone wolf types. You can see it all the time in television. And then you can see how they want to, literally everything. You'll watch all these murder shows. I call it murder porn. Like Discovery ID. Lifetime is also murder porn, man. I'm just telling you. You just watch this stuff, and you can see how they're trying to, program your mind into believing that there's some schizophrenic with a gun waiting to hop out of every tree to do something evil to you, which is, it's not true. But on the other hand, it hides what they really are doing. You know what I'm saying? How they're databasing everyone, how they're trying to get us up into this one world, and they are causing engineered disasters, engineered crises. Like they put out certain films about what they, you know what I'm saying, in the past that they were gonna do now, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, as you watch this stuff, you can almost categorize it up into what the operation is, because everything in the media is so controlled that they're literally, it's like a ritual of mass repetition of the lies. I think Hitler said if you repeat the lie over and over often enough, people eventually start to believe that is true. And entertainment so big is in it. They show you what events like 9/11 was predictive programmed. They keep showing the dam. They keep telegraphing like movies like Olympus Has Fallen, things like that. I didn't do it. I'm gonna end this video now, man, because I just totally got buzzkilled, man.